In Afghanistan, more land is under poppy cultivation now than more than a decade ago under the Taliban. From these poppies, Afghanistan produced close to 90% of the world's opium in 2013.
VOA's Kokab Farshori has been following this, and we sat down to talk about why Afghanistan's illegal drug trade is still going strong. Let's roll it. So I think the first question when we look at this story is why Afghanistan? Why is Afghanistan responsible for so much of the world's opium?
Afghanistan is so fertile in terms of growing poppy. Farmers do not have financially attractive alternative means of farming. So naturally, growing poppy, growing opium pays off, and they continue to grow it. It continues to get big markets especially in rich countries, and as long as drugs that are produced in Afghanistan get access or get their buyers in the rich countries, farmers there will always find it financially attractive to grow, and that's why today Afghanistan is about 90% of the poppy growing country.
Who's to blame for the surge in poppy growing and opium production?
Demand will always encourage the supply. As long as there is demand, there will be supply from somewhere. Today it's Afghanistan, tomorrow it may be some other country, but demand is the real big problem, and as long as there is demand, especially in the rich countries, there will be supply from poor countries like Afghanistan. So I think authorities and governments in these countries need to do something to come hard on the demand side so that the supply gets discouraged. And then of course, I'm not saying that if they totally control the demand here, there will be no supply from those countries, because now drug gets used even within the region, within Afghanistan, Pakistan area. But I think the biggest attraction for Afghanistan is to sell drugs to rich clients.
So what is the world doing? What are the actions that we've seen taking place?
Whatever efforts are being made, for example, yes, traffickers are being punished, farmers are being offered alternative means of farming, drug labs are being destroyed, but more needs to be done. Everything needs to be beefed up that's being done right now.
Now, you mentioned the Taliban. What kind of relationship do we see between the drug production and sales and the growth or the strength of the Taliban and other insurgents?
The Taliban, when they were in power in 1996, from 1996 to 2001, essentially, the poppy cultivation was brought down drastically. In fact, some experts claim that it was almost eliminated, but then it came back. Even during the Taliban time, I'm told by some experts here in Washington, because the farmers, for them, it was their livelihood. And Taliban had realized at that point that they cannot remain popular with the Afghan population if they come so hard on the poppy cultivation.
What do we see in terms of demand within the region itself, within Afghanistan, within Pakistan, and other neighboring countries?
The situation is getting horrible. Now, even within Pakistan and Afghanistan, the drug demand is increasing. Heroin addicts are increasing in number. There was a time when we only saw male drug addicts, but alarmingly now we saw women, including pregnant women, and even teenage kids, which is so alarming.
What surprised you personally doing this story? Anything?
I mean, the fact that now even women are getting addicted to this, and including pregnant women, in conservative societies like Pakistan and Afghanistan, I mean, you will not find women smoking openly on streets, but they get hooked on drugs. And then, of course, despite so much efforts from the international community, even though when it's compared to the kind of supply that we see from Afghanistan, the efforts kind of look small, we still see a lot of efforts, especially from the United States. This problem is just growing. So what surprised me was what else the international community needs to do to tackle this issue.
All right, and again, that was VOA's Kokab Farshori. Drug traffickers have made billions of dollars globally from the sale of Afghan opiates. And speaking to the importance of these outside countries, 90% of those profits are made outside Afghanistan.